This video is about function notation. So we're going to evaluate a function in function notation. Today we're going to look at evaluating a function and using operation between another function. So in number 1 we have v of 5 plus w of 2. We're going to put 5 in for x in my v equation. So I'm going to put a bracket around it. Bracket negative 3 times 5 plus 11. I'm going to use my operation plus, I'm going to look at my second function, w of 2. So I'm going to put 2 in for x. This time there's two different x's, so I need to make sure I substitute in both spots. So I have bracket 2 squared minus 9 times 2. I'm going to do each function separate. So I'm going to start with my v function. I get negative 15 plus 11, which is negative 4. Bring down my addition sign. And then I have 4 minus 18, which gets me negative 4. Now that I've evaluated each function separate, I'm going to add them. So negative 4 plus negative 14 is negative 18. Number 2, I have v of negative 3 minus y of 4. So first I'm going to substitute negative 3 in for x in my v equation. Negative 3 times negative 3 plus 11 minus my y equation. So I'm going to substitute 4 in for y, or for x in the y equation. And we get 3 minus 4. I'm going to evaluate each function separate. So I get 9 plus 11, which is 20. Bring down my minus sign. 3 minus 4 is negative 1. So I have 20 plus negative 1. Remember that two negatives make a positive. So it's really 20 plus 1, which is 21. Let's look at the same thing for number 3. I have w of 3 plus y of 1. So I'm going to substitute 3 into both x's in my w equation. 3 squared minus 9 times 3 plus my y equation. I'm going to substitute 1 in for x. 3 minus 1. So 3 squared is 9 minus 9 times 3, which is 27. Gets me negative 18. I'm going to do the same thing with my y equation. After I bring down my plus sign, 3 minus 1 is 2. So I have negative 18 plus 2, which gets me negative 16. Number 4, 3v of negative 4 plus w of negative 5. So what I'm going to do in the v equation is I'm going to substitute negative 4 for x, but I need to keep that 3 out front. So I'm going to put out front of the parenthesis a 3, and then in my bracket negative 3 times negative 4 plus 11 plus my w equation. I'm putting negative 5 in for x and x. Parenthesis negative 5 squared minus 9 times negative 5. Make sure when you're substituting that you always put parentheses so that when we square this negative 5, it'll become a positive number. So let's look function by function. So I'm going to use the v function first. 3 times 12 plus 11. 12 plus 11 is 23. So 3 times 23 is 69. Carry down my plus sign. In my w equation, negative 5 squared is 25. Negative 9 times negative 5 is plus 45. So I have plus 70. So 69 plus 70 gets me 139. Let's look at our last example. In number 5, we have 4v of 1 plus 2w of 1. So I'm going to put 1 in for x in my v equation. My 4 is going to come out front. So 4 times negative 3 times 1 plus 11 plus, I'm going to put 1 into both x's in my w equation. I need to bring a 2 out front, 2 bracket 1 squared minus 9 times 1. And I can evaluate both of my functions. So the v function becomes 4 times negative 3 plus 11, 4 times 8, which is 32. In my second equation, I have 2 times 1 minus 9, 2 times negative 8, which is negative 16. So I can add those two together, because my operation in the middle was addition. 32 plus negative 16 gets me positive 16.